So what do you think, guys and nips? Big question here today.
Is it done? I mean, I'm ordering more henna as we speak to have more of it sent here.
Oh, it's happening. Your nipples are getting lipstick.
Yeah,
I just want to give you options for your skin.
I want something real bold, something real nasty.
Something bold and nasty to match your personality.
I want to peacock it.
If you missed the conversation from the regular show, on the TV show The Doctors, they were talking about how the best lipstick color for a woman is to get a shade that basically matches your nipples. That's, in a sense, what it should be, correct? That's what they were saying, is you should match your lips and nips.
That's what they said.
Your nipples do not look like what your lips look like. They can't. Your nipples are not that purplish pink.
I think it's a preference thing. I've never been a big fan of particularly light-skinned people with really bright red lips. And I'm probably in the minority on that, to be honest with you. I preferred more like earthen tones. I think if you have a darker skin, then you can get away with a little bit of a brighter color. It kind of works that way. That's at least my own preference.
What are your thoughts on long nipples? You know the kind I'm talking about? They almost look like little mini pencils.
I was talking about lips, not nips. But, you know, you can talk about nipples too.
You hear what you want. I thought we're talking nipples here. This is the whole nipple conversation.
Yeah, it is now.
We
nipples.
We were talking nipples, were we not?
We were talking both.
Yeah, we're talking both.
It's a little both, yeah.
I'm not at all derailing the show right now. I'm talking nips and lips here.
Nips and lips.
Kevin's talking about color. You're talking about like size and characteristics.
All right.
You like protruding.
I'm just asking. I mean, if you're talking pink, we might as well get into the size. I'm just asking what are your thoughts on long nipples?
You mean like the eraser part?
Yes.
Okay.
They can go out for a while, but I mean, if you can hang your hat on it, it's too much.
Okay, that's really what I was asking.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen some that you can definitely hang a hat on.
Oh
Yeah.
no, there long nipples is a real thing. Some people,
I know it is.
Some people are clearly not into them. Some people are.
Yeah.
Some people like Jay Bird.
I'm just saying.
To me, I like probably. I mean, the areola is big too. Probably like about a quarter diameter, and just coming out a little bit. I think that's probably ideal. I'm not a big fan of.
What food do you think of when you think of a good sized nipple? It's so easy.
Mini pepperoni.
Mini
Mini
pepperoni.
I was gonna say, I almost said pepperoni, like pepperonis too. Yeah, mini pepperoni.
It's pepperonis.
Yeah.
Well, some women unfortunately end up with salamis. I don't know if you've seen those.
Describe it.
Really big.
It's like there's hardly any boob. It's all areola.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I say rock on with that. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with it.
Just looks like he's wearing a bigger
He's just
hat.
happy to be near a tit.
Yeah, it's like pizza, baby.
It's all good, right? It's all good. Well, I got a nice email here from my gay admirer, Tim.
Oh, okay. He always gives you wonderful compliments.
And yeah, I was just trying to say, what do you think about guys whose nipples show through their shirts?
Okay.
And attractive or not? And I did get mixed. I got a little bit more in favor of than against. And Tim, what do you think he's for?
He's in favor.
Oh, he wants to see some Ralston nip.
He wants it all.
Oh, you know Tim so well.
He wants you to henna up your dong, too, and wear some white shorts.
Oh, yeah. Can we lipstick that thing?
Can we dip your stick?
Wear like see-through white shorts, glowing red dong.
Chocolate dong.
Oh, we can get a real pink.
We can get it real pink. Jay Bird wants to put the henna on himself with his tongue.
You're putting it. We're just filming it. You put it on yourself.
Tim says it is absolutely hot to see a man's nips poking through his shirt, especially when they're buff like you are.
Damn.
Many men enjoy the pleasure of nipple play and will work their nips so they do stick out, and it's a huge turn on to me as a gay man. Typically, there are three things a gay man looks at when cruising: nips, bulge, and butt. Just my opinion. Keep up the great job. You guys rock.
Well, what about eyes and face? I mean, does the face not even matter?
No, I mean,
could it be honestly, a headless gay man?
Honestly, it's all just really in that one area for the most part.
And do you wear like iced shirts because your nipples are always poinky? It's a real term.
Yeah,
they're always at attention. It's noticeable.
They are. No, it's just the way they are. They're just constructed that way. I mean, there are times where they're a little bit more rigid than others, but for the most part, it's just kind of the shape of them.
Look, it could go the other way. It could be lumpy and mushy, like some people on this show. I'm not talking about you, Virginia.
I just got mine fixed. Mine are high and tight right now.
Oh, yeah.
They could not be more perfect, and I'm happy with them.
Yeah.
What happens, though, as you get older, everything starts to go south. So
Everything.
don't have another kid after you've had them lifted, because then you're just right back where you started.
Isn't that why that vaginal rejuvenation's so popular?
I don't know. My vag is fine.
It is.
Prove it. Prove it.
I think some women, I mean, you've already started with a tired-looking vagina.
They started
And
with
You
it.
started with it. There was a lot of mud flap. You know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
I think we all do.
And then you have a kid, and it just gets more pronounced.
Okay, let me ask you this. Can you have it droop if you don't have kids? Is that just time?
Absolutely.
Father time getting you?
No, some young girls, I've seen like young girls have like seriously droopy 40-plus-year-old looking woman vaginas. It's sad.
Who you hanging out with?
Are you guys comparing vages? Is it something women do? Like, ooh.
You don't do it like, oh, put your legs up, let me take a look. But if you're like in a locker room or something, or you're at the pool, or you can tell.
Have you ever been like, hey guys, look at my dong? I've never been like, I've never shown
But
it.
in the locker room, you've absolutely looked at other dongs.
Well, because it's there, and that's
right,
what
I'm just saying the same thing. When it's there, you look.
the locker
He
room.
does in our bathroom here.
I know.
The locker room is really, honestly, the first time I realized I'm like, oh, you are on the smaller side, dude. Everyone's got a big dong. Everybody.
Well, that's how women look at other women. They're like, all right, let me just see what the other vaginas out there look like.
Wow.
And then do you talk amongst each other about them and be like going, Rachel over there looks like she's got a hoagie. I mean,
look, here
does
comes
that happen?
Here comes Hoagie Rachel.
Absolutely. In my circle of friends, I mean, my girlfriend created that product called the Cucini.
Yeah.
Because she had pronounced vagina lips.
She did.
And when she would wear a bathing suit, she had hard.
Like a roast beef sandwich or
core-
something?
I mean, you're trying to.
Camel toe.
Did you call each other Arby's behind your back?
No, I mean, I never really even looked at it, but I guess it bothered her, and that's where she created the product. And a
Yeah.
couple of the girls in our circle were excited about it, and a couple of the girls like me were like, we don't get it.
I don't think. I think her perspective's off on that a little bit. I think some guys like when it's a little kind of sticking out a little bit.
But sometimes the girls don't like that. If the girl doesn't want you to see every curve.
It depends upon how it is. Sometimes, camel toe can be sexy, and then other times it looks like
Alarming.
If it looks like a big old moose knuckle, then it's like, ugh, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if it kind of looks like a derby hat, then you're
Camel hot, moose not.
yeah.
I like camel toe. I don't want to be pegged with what Ralston's saying here. But I know what you're talking. You're
man.
talking
I've
about
seen a few that
You're talking about open face sandwich. You don't want.
looks like a flat
Like
tire.
a barefoot.
Yeah, it's just.
Could you don't have to name names, but if you had to put a list together of who's got the loosest out of your friends, would you be able to do that?
Absolutely. Wow. Because I know which girls, because my one friend came up with the product, and so I know which girls out of the circle needed it and which girls didn't.
Okay.
I wonder if a chick is listening right now and she's struggling, like she's self-conscious about what's going on as far as the hanging down. If this conversation is hitting her hard, and will she want to try to fix it? Because I don't think it's a big deal. You're saying it is.
It's all about your personal perception. I don't think that you should do anything to your body to change it based on what anybody else thinks or says. But if you look at your vagina and you're like, this makes me sad, then you should fix it if you want to. But don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to society.
Yeah.
Don't listen to your girlfriends. If your vagina makes you happy, then rock on.
If you could do one physical thing to your body, Kev, like a surgery or something that it could be anything on your body. No rules here. Would you change anything about yourself?
No pain, no recovery.
No pain, no recovery, no cost.
It can be it can be anything.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's a magic question.
Poof.
Just change it.
I have a magic wand. Where do you want me to touch?
Probably be hair first.
Really?
Yeah.
Hair first.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, just take care of that. Boom.
Where would you go first, Jay Bird?
I mean, I've always wanted to grow a ponytail. My hair kind of grows up, but I'm probably going with my dick.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
What about you?
I've done it all. I mean,
What's left?
I've done everything I want to do. I'm not touching my face. I think
Okay.
that's just what it is. Sorry. I think, like, after I breastfed twice, I got 2 boob lifts. I mean, I wanted them to be back where they were.
But in all honesty, though, I don't think if I had the option to change, I don't think I'd do it. I don't think I would.
You know what I like? I like lasers. There's lasers now that you can get where they can like make your skin look like it's never had any kind of scar
Yeah.
or any kind of damage. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Lasers are awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe go ponytail with the hair.
I thought you wanted your dick.
Nah, I think I'm gonna, because since I was a kid, I've always wanted I'm talking a long ass ponytail.
But you've always wanted a long ass dick too.
I think it's overrated, right?
We had to have that conversation again.
Every now and then we got to.
This email said, wow, all this time I've been trying to hide my nipples. I need some tips, though, on how to be sexy. Apparently, I can't get away from this nice girl look. Any tips from the girl next door in Wellington?
Oh my gosh.
She apparently is a little too innocent looking, and she needs to... It's kind of like that movie, where they take the girl that's all buttoned down. She's wearing the glasses. All of a sudden, her hair comes down. And...
Let me bring this girl around my pack of hoes for a weekend. We will break her in. She thinks she's too innocent.
You want to do a hoe makeover on her?
Hoe
her up a little bit?
Is she too...
A make-hoer.
Does she look too innocent or does she act too innocent? Or is it both?
I don't know. She just said the girl next door, she's got that look. Maybe she's got that kind of, attitude. Maybe she wants to be a little bit more...
Sassier.
Yeah.
Tell her to send us some pictures.
She wants that, like, I remember in Greece, when all of a sudden Sandy came out and she was wearing the leather. And
I didn't like Sandy like that. I liked the girl next door look on Sandy. Some guys really enjoy that look.
Yeah.
We need pictures.
Yeah, have her send us some pictures of what she's got going on, what she's doing, and I can absolutely take her to my girlfriend Liz's consignment shop, and we can give her a whole different look.
Makeover.
I'll make hover.
Okay. All right. Interesting little thing there. We'll hoe you up, girl.
You got to show us what you're working with, though.
Yeah, that's important.
Alex sent in this email for Jaybird. Said, Jaybird, being a furry is kind of a spectrum. There are many levels to how intensely one is into it.
I'm not a furry.
Just listen to the email. Stop being so
No.
defensive.
No, because-
you know what furries do? They get defensive.
More friggin' lies here on the damn podcast. All right, what else?
Simmer down.
Because Virginia said, Jason is wearing a Chewbacca. He likes to have sex with the fur on him. Okay.
I think she would probably say butt play.
Whatever. Read the fucking email.
So I will be making blanket statements here, as I am not in the furry community, but I have a close friend who I talked to about it.
This is ridiculous.
My understanding is right, a furry could be compared to being transgender or a transvestite. Many furries wish they were part animal or feel like they should be. Many have a persona or an identity that they have made that is their other self. Usually I think these are the Zootopia or Disney's Robin Hood, but occasionally you get combinations like griffins, feathered lizards, etc. This community is misunderstood, in my opinion.
Feathered lizards?
Oh, no, please continue to read on.
Many of them do not dress up at all, and even fewer have sex in costume. But that is the most scandalous and all anyone thinks about when they hear about furries. Because of their outsider status, the furry community is very open and friendly and understands that not everyone in the community is into the same things that they are into at an individual level. So there you go. Jaybird, there is a lot of furry art online, and some of it is very skilled. Fair warning, you may want to start with safe search on. I've seen a fair amount of nudity. And some more graphic stuff. Let's just say that furries can also have other S&M fetishes as well.
All right, I gotta stop wearing my fucking Wookiee jacket to work because it is opening up.
Your hat's not doing you any favors either.
Why am I so furry?
Yeah.
It's basically a costume. I think you're a furry, and now you're just in denial.
No, I'm not in denial. I can honestly say I've never had sex with a Chewbacca jacket on.
Yet.
No, I haven't. I'm not having sex with anybody, by the way.
I don't know if I buy that.
Virginia's snooping around right now, trying to see what's going on with my dating world.
Well, a man can exist in the desert for only so long. I know eventually he will come for water. And when he does, I want to be there to see who the lucky lady is.
Why do you care if you say...
And I use the word lady loosely.
Oh, don't, because there's nice girls I've dated and they hear that shit and they get all offended, so please, stop.
Oh, if they're nice, they shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Agreed. But come on, clean it up.
Another interesting conversation from today's regular show was Jaybird's sexual fantasies on teenage Disney princesses.
It was a mermaid. What the?
There's grass on the field.
It's a witch hunt. This is a witch hunt, is what this is. So I think mermaids are hot. I'm so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, all right.
Well, somebody pointed out, I didn't realize this. I guess the reason why Ariel did not get married at the end of the movie was because she was 16.
I'm talking about 22-year-old Ariel. We all know that.
She doesn't ever turn 22 in the movie.
I was 16 when that shit
She's
came out.
perpetually 16.
No, it does not work that way. So when I was watching Carol Seaver on Growing Pains, I have to only think of her at that age now. She was even older than me. Ariel's actually older than me. When did Mermaids come out?
Mermaids came out like in, I want to say like 1990.
Yeah, Ariel's older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally fantasize about Ariel.
So can you still pound your pud to her, or is that...
I think it's the idea.
Okay.
The great thing about high school chicks is they just stay the same age, and I keep getting older.
The whole game was flawed anyway, because you're asking me who's sexy in a cartoon? They're all underage.
No.
No, not all of them.
This is classic Ralston. Twisting, turning. I see what's going on here. And then you got your laughing gremlin on the side. Yeah, Kevin, yeah.
Don't feed me after midnight.
The most annoying hype man, and I say man, in the game.
Don't throw water on me.
Somebody texted in and said, we need Jaybird to tell us the princess story that he couldn't say on the air today.
I'm not telling that story.
You started going into a story about...
You said you would.
No, because the reason why I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, because it wasn't a story. It was more of just a comment or a joke I was going to make, but I felt like the comment was going to be highly inappropriate. I was going to go through this whole thing, how I think Cinderella is the most boring lay ever because she looks like she would only like missionary in the dark, and it's going to be all old-fashioned and not very good. I was going to go on a rant about that. Thought that was a little inappropriate at 7:15 in the morning.
Do you think any of the Seven Dwarfs ever...
Oh, I mean, are you leading me?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Asking what Seven Dwarfs about what? I'm talking Cinderella, not Snow White.
Oh, okay.
Did Snow White bop a dwarf?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like
Got all my
that.
Disney chicks
It wasn't
mixed
like
up.
that. No, nothing that. It wasn't a crazy
You
thing.
think Cinderella would be lame, huh?
I do. I think Cinderella would be a terrible lay. That's why I liked Ariel. She's got fins in the water, legs out of the water. Mm-hmm. Come on, baby. It's hot. It's hot. And if you want to throw me in perv jail, lock me up.
Mervert.
I'm a mervert.
Mervert.
I'm okay with it.
We were talking a little bit about prom. Did you have to apologize for something you did at your high school prom? And Campbell sent in an email talking about how he had this girl that had asked him to prom about like a month out. He had said yes and agreed to, but he really kind of had his sights on the hottest girl in the class named Hillary. And apparently, right towards prom, Hillary and her boyfriend broke up. He kind of got in the middle of that. And then right before prom, he doesn't take Cassie, goes with Hillary. And then on top of it, he and Hillary are then crowned prom king and queen. And as he is, the girl that he left high and dry, Cassie takes off bursting into tears.
I mean, it sounds like a
movie.
horrible movie.
It does.
Sounds like, yeah. So he's like, I was a young asshole, and I feel bad about that. I'm a piece of shit still to this day. So,
Dang.
yeah.
My
this kind of stuff
girlfriend
happens.
sent me a text. She said, I went to 18 proms.
18, wow.
Through 4 years of high school, she went to 18 different proms. She said she went to an all-girls private school, and all the boys from the public school wanted to take them because they were like the unknown.
Oh,
This
yeah.
sounds like this happened in the 50s.
Her husband told her, it's only because you were easy. Guys pick someone to take to prom that they know will put out. And she said, I did a few times.
A few times she won. How many? 18?
18.
Did she ice that thing down? Oh, my God.
Wow.
How could she dance? Was she limping?
Dang.
I told you I run with hoes.
I like
I
that.
roll with hose. She can do a makeover.
I love the fact that she owns it. That's
Owns
awesome.
it and laughs about it. And her husband's laughing about
That's
it.
great.
Her husband's telling her it's because she was easy.
Jeez.
That is awesome.
Wow. How about that?
Pretty good.
Okay. Let me see some emails that we got here. Danielle sent this one in. I believe she lives in New Orleans.
Oh.
She said, in regards to the monuments coming down here in New Orleans, another one came down last night.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel because I thought I knew how I felt, and then yesterday you tripped me all up with the Washington thing.
Well, that was a great point that somebody had brought up because they were talking about taking out General Lee. And, the argument was, okay, owning slaves and all that. And they said, well, then you got to look back at our forefathers like George Washington and...
Did Lincoln have any? No, he freed them, so he wouldn't have owned
I don't
slaves.
know. I don't know.
It's
that
a
he
weird thing.
did.
Honestly, you got to do so much research
gotta
on this
look.
history stuff because we were wrong on certain parts in the last 2 days, and it pisses people off when we're wrong like
Well,
that.
we're asking questions.
Do you remember what it was?
How can asking
exactly?
questions be wrong?
Well, no, it's not that, but we're giving opinions and then we're backing up opinions, but with like half truths. That's all I'm saying. If we're gonna do the history stuff, we got to
Do you
make
remember
sure.
specifics?
It was during the George Washington stuff that I had seen. I didn't get the whole comment, but it was like you guys need to really fact check on stuff, and that's all it was.
We're saying right now we're fact checking on the fly, and we're using like Google and Wikipedia. We don't know what we're talking about, but we're trying to work it out.
Sure.
Isn't this how you work things out?
Yeah, I'm just saying we're giving like opinions on stuff and we're not getting things historically correct. And all I am saying is let's make sure we're getting the facts right on stuff. About everything when we're talking about stuff like that.
Well, we're not gonna.
Okay, then I'll go fuck myself.
Let me see. He said, I was so happy to hear you, Kevin, say yesterday that these men were, quote, men of their times, because that is the truth. They were living in that world and were surrounded by like-minded people. They should not be judged by today's standards. On top of that, these gentlemen did amazing things for the country that should not be diminished because they were a product of their time. Should we punish people forever for things they thought 20 to 30 years ago? Talked a little bit about the town that she grew up in and how she got a different perspective on races and things like that when she moved out of her small little town there in Metairie, outside of New Orleans.
So she lives in Metairie still, or she lives in New Orleans?
My family is from there, outside
Okay.
of New Orleans. Yeah, that's where I was first exposed to a large amount of African Americans. Virginia, you are wrong about the monuments. It wasn't a movement by the, quote, people. It was Mitch who started this mess.
Mitch Landrieu is the mayor.
Oh, okay. He planned it before he was even in office. He is the one that started the movement. People just jumped on it like they do because he told them they should be offended. This is bad for the city. It's bad for tourism. Are we now to tear down the entire quarter because it was built by slaves and slave owners? Who paved the streets? Who tiled the roofs? What about the port that was used to bring in so many slaves? Demolish it? Bottom line, you can't judge people from yesterday on the values of today. Put up a plaque explaining the system they supported and educate the people so that we do not repeat anything so awful.
What are your thoughts, Nikki?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense what they're saying. George Washington did have slaves, a
Okay.
bunch of them. So I don't know. We can't take down all the Washington monuments, can we?
Well, good luck with the money. I believe he's still
Yeah.
on the dollar bill.
Well,
He's
you would
on
have-
every dollar.
You would have money, Washington, D.C., Washington State, Washington Monument. I mean, those are four right off the top of my head that I'd be like, okay.
Seems like it's going to be a big undertaking.
Washington apple shots. Isn't there a Washington apple shot?
There's a Washington apple and a shot.
Yeah, there's so that's if it goes that way, it'd be interesting.
I'm glad people are emailing with like, they're not getting mad and they're at
No.
least giving some perspective here.
It's making us think.
Well, it's a good discussion so that, if it ever comes up, you can say, hey, here's why I believe the way I do, and here's why.
Yeah, that's the worst when you're fighting for something and you don't even know what the hell what do I believe?
Yeah, no, I think that's why it's really good to know both sides of every argument. In case somebody hits you with something, you want to be able to try to explain it. Say, yeah, I'm aware of that argument, and I've given it some thought, and here's what I think about it. There's nothing more I hate when somebody like catches you off guard, and you're like, I just usually respond and be like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Every time you ask me a question on the air.
Yeah. You found out about the Google number today? Because you're talking about
Yes.
changing your number again. And our buddy Sid, who used to be here, now lives in Atlanta, said, I've been using one for years. It's great. If you have any questions, let me know. You can make outgoing calls, take incoming calls, and text with it on your phone, and people won't know your personal number.
Oh, that's great. Sid's a great guy, too.
Yeah.
He's really, really
Here's
nice.
his info.
Thank you. All right, where am I going to put this? Where I lose?
Where am I going to lose this?
I'll put this in the important file. Denny's?
Yeah.
It's never easy, is it? Hopefully you're watching this on KVJ TV.
He's just trying to walk out of the studio. He's tangled
all
up.
tangled.
Yeah, can't get out.
Knots and wires and drama and furry. He's so furry. That's his furry hat he got caught on. You saw that?
Yeah. It's tough being a furry, Virginia. A lot of pitfalls in that lifestyle.
Your fur gets stuck on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does.
I think I have to have sex in my Chewbacca jacket now.
I think so.
With myself.
Can you wash it first, though? That poor girl.
Yeah.
No, it'd be a video just with me and myself in the Chewbacca outfit.
It's hot.
So hot.
Making Chewbacca noises.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that would just be such a hot video.
Yeah. There's an interesting story about Steve Harvey today. And the way it was written, who knows, but maybe some of the people that work with him don't necessarily love him, at least the angle that they kind of took with it. You know, he's doing all kinds of stuff. You know, between he and Seacrest, I mean, these guys are taking on like every single job that is out there.
They're hard-working men.
Yeah.
And they realize that you're only hot for so long, so you better take every job you can while you're hot.
Well, they also realize you can't mess up anything. Like little things behind the scenes. If something goes down, you got to make sure your shit's on point.
Well, apparently, the beginning of the current season of the Steve Harvey Show, he sent employees an email with some new backstage rules. The email read like this. It says, "There will be no meetings in my dressing room. No stopping by or popping in. No one," in all caps. "Do not come to my dressing room unless invited. Do not open my dressing room door. If you open my door, expect to be removed," in all caps. "I want all the ambushing to stop now. That includes TV staff. I have been taken advantage of by my lenient policy in the past. This ends now," in all caps, "no more. Do not approach me while I'm in the makeup chair unless I ask to speak with you directly. Do not wait in any hallway to speak to me. I hate being ambushed. Please make an appointment. I promise you I will not entertain you in the hallway, and do not attempt to walk with me. Everyone, do not take offense on the new way of doing business. It is for the good of my personal life and enjoyment." Now, the show is going to be moving from Chicago to L.A., and sources say he didn't give too many staffers the option of going with him, and so they say many people are not really sad to see him go. It's kind of like what they say.
Well, something probably happened behind the scenes where someone was in his face before taping.
Yeah.
He got all flustered. The show probably suffered. And he's like, I got millions and millions of dollars at stake here. I can't screw this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an interesting perspective because, I mean, like none of us are on the same level as this guy.
No.
But we see Kevin, who, you know, Kevin's the boss of the show. Everything kind of has to funnel through Kevin.
He's our Steve Harvey.
And he's the white Steve
Closest
Harvey.
thing we got. Closest thing we got.
Grow that mustache.
Still always off, yeah.
will do the same thing to Kevin. They
Yeah.
will ambush him in his office. They'll
Yeah.
ambush him as he's walking down the hall trying to come to the show. And then just 2 minutes talking in the hall to somebody messes up him missing a commercial or
Yeah.
him missing something in the studio. And then he's all derailed. Then he's all flustered. Then he has to come back and talk about something on the air and get his train of thought back. And
Well,
it's really hard.
You wouldn't have, okay, if an athlete, a professional athlete's playing a sport, you're not going to have him talking to a bunch of people during the game. Now, I'm cool
Right.
with this policy if you're at work and it's about the show. You had a story a few months ago about Prince. When Prince would walk into a room, no one could talk to Prince, look at Prince. I think that's different because Prince isn't, like, Harvey's getting ready to do a show. He's getting ready to, it's
Yeah.
game time. Prince is just being Prince. I think Prince had that policy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just take it from the perspective of somebody who has a schedule that is so regimented that legitimately your entire day, you've got to go minute to minute. And things that are unscheduled, when people come in a sense, it's I liken it to a lot of times if somebody shows up at your house uninvited. You know,
Sorry.
yeah,
it's rude. And the
Yeah.
people that stop you in the hall, they don't realize that it's rude because they've never been in your shoes.
Well,
they don't understand it. They're just getting their jobs done.
You don't want to be a diva or a dick. And I think there's a way you
Right.
could do both. You can still be friendly to people and just make sure your policy is known. But the one thing I don't like is after the show is taped and it's everything's gone successful, you need to be a little bit, somewhat approachable to your crew. The people that are help making it work. You don't want it to be so bad you're like everyone's afraid to talk to you.
Well, I think
The
probably,
people that are helping make the show run.
and I don't know what Steve Harvey's life is like, when he does this stuff, but I know how many projects he's on, and what I'd recommend, he probably needs somebody that is a handler that, hey, you got to see them before you come see me. And, maybe sometime that handler walks off and then here's Steve Harvey. And yeah, I mean, when you have his whole day would have to be planned so tight that you can't, because 1 or 2 minutes here puts 1 or 2 minutes past on this. And then if you're that busy and almost every minute of your day is planned out, if you have 3 or 4 of those, now you're 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes behind it when you got tapings and things like that. It's tough. And the other thing that I don't like sometimes is people hit you with something like on the fly in that quick walk, and your mind's on something else.
You got a mind spin.
And then what happens, you kind of like don't say the right thing because you're like, I can't address this right now. And then next thing you know, you're in a project that you didn't want to be in, or you're trying to think of the right way to address it.
I can't tell you how many times that's the hallway.
Yeah.
The quick hallway conversation, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden you have an appearance in Georgia now. You're like, wait, I signed on for this? I have to go to Georgia now?
Right, exactly.
When we talked in the hallway, remember? You had headphones on? You're like, wait, what?
So I think with Steve Harvey, I would defend it just in all that, because I assume that's what it is. I have a feeling he's probably not just sitting there with ample time, being a total diva and saying, I'm so popular now that I just don't want you coming in. He's probably in there getting his head in the right space to do what he has to do. He has to think and, be on the fly.
Well, and he is so popular now, and he does have the power to be able to control his environment. And good for him, because if you're a loose guy like that, when you see Steve Harvey and you listen to his show or you see him on TV, he's very loose, he's very funny, he's very jovial. It's very hard to get in that mindset when you've just had somebody barking in your ear, and now 30 seconds later, you've got to turn around and be funny when you're still pissed at the person that was just barking at you in the hallway. I totally get where he's coming from.
I do, and it's the toughest thing hosting this show for me, and I hate that a lot of times I really mentally can't be in the moment, and I'm not relaxed, and I'm not just listening and laughing and having fun, because I've got 5 problems that I'm dealing with during the show, and it's hard to be in that space. And
it is. Being loose is hard.
Yeah.
Loose is forced.
Wasn't so hard for your friend that went to 18 proms?
Well,
she's pretty
different kind of loose.
She was a passionate girl.
Yeah. I think more and more people are going to find this happening in their own lives, because I think we're getting so busy. I think a lot of people at their jobs are getting to that point.
I think it's good to a certain extent, and then you become a prick. I understand what Steve Harvey's trying to do. He's getting centered for the game, but you're just a human as well, and you can't always be, I have no time for anybody. I don't like that either. But it's a fine line.
But I think in the workplace, for the most part, really, in a sense, I think to start doing it right, we probably ought to condition ourselves to say, if you want to talk to somebody, you should probably shoot them a quick email and say, hey, let me know when you got 5 minutes, or can I talk to you at 3:05 today?
We have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to kill each other.
Yeah.
These hallway conversations, these things that take you off your game, they're not cool.
And it just kind of puts you in a different spin, in a different agenda.
It hurts everybody.
I'm probably part of the problem, because anytime anyone comes to me with any kind of bullshit, I'm like, just send it to Kevin. He's the boss. Let him deal with it.
I get
He's the quarterback.
But if they send emails, it'll get taken care of.
Yeah, because
it'll take
quicker.
a day, maybe, but it'll get taken care of.
Mm-hmm. I saw this. They say emotion reading technology could soon be used by police to tell if a person is going to commit a crime.
Oh, this is bullshit. This is a Minority Report.
It is, totally, yeah. They say the new software can monitor citizens for suspicious behavior by tracking identity, age, gender, and current emotional state.
And clothes.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like this is going to be a problem at all. What the hell is this bullshit?
They say it could be used to preemptively stop criminals and potential terrorists by checking to see if they're angry, stressed, or nervous.
I hate this. I hate it.
He's always angry, stressed, and nervous.
Yeah, because I work with you.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, because I imagine probably a lot of people commit crimes. Like, for instance, you look at stuff. There was even just a local horrific story today about a guy that had gone through life and, whatever, and had passed all kinds of checks and worked places that isn't, has stringent rules on this stuff. And just he does a horrific act kind of like seemingly out of nowhere. Like, why at his age, at his place, when he had not done anything before, does this happen?
Here's the thing, though. Do you know for a fact he's never done anything before? Just because they haven't been arrested, you don't know.
I know he had gone through stringent background checks, because I know kind of like what the background checks are about.
Just because you haven't been caught doesn't mean you haven't committed a crime.
For sure.
Yeah.
You can do background checks and all that stuff. Somebody can still dupe you.
But what was the timing on this? Why did this happen all of a sudden?
I don't know.
And if you had something like that, would you be able to look and be like, okay, this guy, whoa, you can tell he is wound up. There are times where I'm just angry, mad, whatever it might be, where it's like I'm probably more likely to do something I shouldn't do than other times.
Yeah, we're going on looks and also the way people look, then the Bronc would be in jail for murder. They give him the chair, and he's innocent. That's
Just for these eyes,
it's a terrible idea. Hate
Okay.
it.
Well, it is possibly coming. It might be a tactic that law enforcement starts using pretty soon to try to detect if somebody's about to commit a crime.
I'm enemy number one. Look how I'm dressed. I've already been stopped several times by the damn grocery store. Did you steal that? No. I have a receipt.
You just look shifty. I've seen you.
Yeah.
You talk to yourself. You walk back and forth.
You're dressed as a furry.
You look.
I don't go to Publix like this. I only go to this goofy ass job dressed like this.
Sure,
You would never see me in Publix like this. You wouldn't.
Peacocking.
Did you hear about the new Pepsi? It's called
What?
Pepsi Fire.
It's cinnamon.
Yeah.
I don't like
Hot
it.
cinnamon flavor. Yeah, you don't like hot
I
stuff.
don't like it.
I like Fireball, the shot, but that sounds gross.
They say it's like if you dropped a shot of Fireball whiskey into a glass of Pepsi.
Without all the fun alcohol.
Yeah, without the buzz. What is it,
Yeah.
O'Doul's bullshit beer? You drink, it tastes like beer.
Yeah, closest place you can get it to us right now is Mexico, but they say if it does well, it could be coming to us.
I don't see that thing doing well. If Crystal Pepsi doesn't work, that ain't working.
Ain't gonna work, huh? No
Nah.
way, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
cinnamon is too polarizing.
It's a
People either they love it or they hate it.
It's a bully ingredient as well. You put just a hair of cinnamon in something, and I'm not even against cinnamon, but you put just a hair in it, yeah, you're eating cinnamon bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Got any comments for us? Want to sound off? You can. Just send us an email. Mail at kvjshow.com. Thanks so much to Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Brought you in some birthday food yesterday.
They did. Philip, if you're listening, thank you, my friend, because I call you a friend. He got me so much bird sauce.
Let's talk about that mac and cheese. I don't think I've ever had the Bud's mac and cheese.
Really?
Is it good?
It's delicious. I really do. I love all of their sides. I'm not just saying that. I'm a lover of Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Try the bird sauce. It goes great on the aquatic stuff. Mm-hmm. And the tenders.
And before we get out of here, a shout out to our bud Goob, who's all the way down, Goober down here from South Carolina. He's been listening to the show forever and still listens in South Carolina. He's back in South Florida for the week. So
He's been. We love you.
Yeah.
He's been listening for a long time.
I know.
And I wasn't sure if he had listened to the podcast before. We always have to give disclaimers. We're like,
Right.
look, we kind of swear a little bit in here.
hope you know what you're walking into.
Yeah, I know.
He knew.
We're going to talk about long vaginas for 10 minutes.
we opened with that.
Yeah, get ready for that. That's the way it goes. All right, you guys have an amazing day. We'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.